This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV from Essex to Miami. Gareth, you're in Miami right now?
I am indeed. It's very early in the morning in Miami. I've just finished the bare knuckle event here, BKB 50, and just processing my things. Had a nice big Cuban cigar and a nice bit of lobster by the beach, but a lobster by the beach last night on Ocean Drive, and I'm up early this morning, getting myself sorted out. I'm ready to head back to cold England. Is it still?
Very. Back to Blighty. And you're drinking your, what's that?
Uh, I don't know whether they're allowed to advertise, but it's Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, French vanilla flavour.
Nice.
I'll be rocking in a moment, probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you need it at 5 a.m. in the morning, Gareth, when you're jumping on a Zoom. Um,
Indeed.
right, let's go straight through this all because there's a lot to run through from the last time I spoke to you on Tuesday. We'll go in chronological order. First of all, the official announcement of Fury Makhmudov. To no surprise, apart from plot twist, Netflix, and I've got a little bit of a bone to pick with you here, Gareth,
Go on.
because you did say to me, wild prediction last week, that Fury AJ could happen on Netflix. So I reckon you had a little hunch that Netflix may be in the works.
I did have a little hunch, and I've had a hunch since I was out here in this very city last December when AJ fought, oh, sorry, 2 months ago now, it was December, fought Jake Paul, and that was on Netflix, that a lot of the big fights will end up on Netflix. I think AJ against Fury will end up on Netflix. They're big players now. They're coming into the game. They've done 200 million views in the four events they've been involved in so far. So we can expect big numbers on April the 11th, and it doesn't surprise me at all. And I think it's great news for Tyson Fury, and I think it's great news for Arslanbek Makhmudov. And in some ways, it's a tectonic plate shifting in boxing. I think we will see Amazon come on board. We've got the chap Ed Pereira, IVB boxing coming on board with YouTube. They become. I think it's a new era. I really do think it's a new era, and it's fascinating, Joe.
Um, yeah, on the fight itself, your thoughts? Good opponent for Tyson to come back to?
Yeah, there's enough jeopardy in this fight to make it interesting. Arslanbek Makhmudov will take advantage of Tyson Fury if his legs really have gone. Obviously, we see Tyson Fury kind of back on the Instagram trail every other day at the moment, or a couple of times a day. How blessed he is. He's blessed to be back. All those things. He's obviously got the bit between his teeth and is delighted to be back. 15 months out. And we'll find out against Makhmudov. I think Makhmudov you could still place in the top 15 in the world, Joe. And I think it's a good test, and I think it'll be a big crowd. I wonder where they're going to have it. I think, obviously it fills out a 20,000 arena, but who knows? They may end up with it in a stadium as well.
Well, I believe there's a press conference looming, so we'll get into the nuts and bolts of that next week. We just wanted to get your initial reaction. Then,
Well, I think it's great for the division as well, if I can add
brilliant,
that.
brilliant.
It's great for the division. It feels like the pieces fall into place. He wasn't around for a year. He'll be big dossering soon. I don't know whether they call the Russian lion or the Russian bear a big dosser, because he's a nice fella actually, Makhmudov, even though he looks like a gorgon. He looks like an absolute ogre. But look, in terms of value back in the division, noise and personality and all those things, of course it's amazing to have him back. And the prospect of an AJ Fury fight this year, the prospect of a Fury Wardley fight, of a Fury Usyk fight, a third Usyk fight. It's all there, so it's brilliant.
And then we had more heavyweight news with another plot twist. We thought we was getting Sky Sports pay-per-view for Chisora versus Wilder, but no, we've got DAZN. So yeah, it's all very interesting, as you said earlier, with these broadcasters at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine with Derek and Deontay with the Bronze Bomber and War Chisora, they put their hands in their pockets for that. I imagine it's a pay-per-view. If it's not, they will have put their hands heavily in their pockets. These two guys need paying. They're big iconic figures from the last 10 years. Notably, Derek in the UK and Deontay never really got his flowers in the United States from the public after those terrific trilogy of fights with Tyson Fury and, whatever it was, 11 defenses over 4 years, 5 years that he had with the WBC title. So, look, it's a fun heavyweight fight. We don't know what Deontay's got left. I see Derek as a marginal favourite. And as Deontay was saying yesterday, I wanted to fight someone who comes at me. He's going to have to pull the trigger against Derek. He's well capable of knocking Derek out, but I do think Derek will win this. They'll make a lot of noise. They'll probably fight on the cobbles tonight at Glazers Hall under the bridge there. There'll probably be, kind of fists thrown under London Bridge. I think they're in Talk Sport later. It'll be a lot of drama. They'll do the rounds, and I think they will kick off. I think the niceties are done. The police held them apart outside Madison Square Garden in the freezing cold. It's a good fight for both of them, is what I'd like to say. And April's going to be they call it. They say in one of the great old poems, April is the cruelest month, but it's kind to us right now.
Yeah, April looks absolutely stacked, and we've only got what two, three cards announced so far, so it's going to be absolutely banging. Now let's talk about the actual fights. Go on,
With
Gareth.
with with Moses on March the 28th as well.
Yeah,
It's 3 weeks in a row, isn't it? So brilliant.
and stateside is Garcia as well.
And the week before that, Garcia and Barrios, no doubt. Conor Benn will be over there, getting his autographs from everyone, and doing his Dennis Rodman impressions.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But let's start with Josh Kelly, who becomes the sixth current British world champion with
10
a
if you count the women.
10 if you count the winning, 10 if you count the women, and we will talk about the women as well. A stunning performance against Mertzalayev. He really done what he had to do in there on Saturday night in Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't pick him to win against Bakram, by the way. Full disclosure, I'm absolutely delighted for Josh, whose entire career I've covered. I've been around him since he was an amateur. He's always someone who I've wanted desperately to have success. I mean, I remember doing some filming with him for DAZN when he first struck it up with Adam Booth as his trainer. I just thought they were a match made in heaven, those two. And he's so talented. And it was against a really tough guy. Maybe home advantage was a great thing for him. Had to come through a torrid time in the fight, but so delighted for him to have done that. Showed his boxing skills, showed his nous, showed everything he's got, frankly. And if he'd won that away from home, he'd been that list that Dalton Smith joined recently, and that Frampton's in, and that Kell Brook's in, and Tyson Fury's in. It was that kind of victory because Murtazaliev, as I say it, Murtazalayev, as you say it, he's from, I think he's from Chechnya, from Grozny, isn't he? But they build them tough there. There was an argument that he was the toughest guy in the division to fight. So absolutely brilliant performance. And as you say, a little while ago we were talking about where are the world champions from the UK at the moment, and now we've got 10, and Josh joins that great band of fighters. It's a really good division for opponents now as well. Um, Obviously Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are in the division. They haven't even got world titles at the moment. And then you've got the other three there in the division. The other the other three, I think it's three champions, or
Yeah,
or two others, Xander Zayas, and the other one escapes me at the moment. Come on, quiz time.
it's escaping me as well. I know Xander Zayas beat
Hang on.
Abbas
No,
Barral.
because I was looking at it last night. Because I was looking over it. Just one second. It's annoying. It's kicking. I'm kicking myself. Xander Zayas, because they're all good fights for him. Just one second. I've got it here. Um, Sebastian Fundora, of course.
Honduras, of course. That
But En- Enes Fundora, um, Virgil Ortiz, or Boots Ennis. I mean, with Eddie promoting Boots Ennis, who knows? Tough fight, but maybe he wants the tough fights. But I think there's Callum Walsh is ranked at four, the Zuffa boxer. Maybe that's why Eddie wanted to talk to Dana White at the weekend. Who knows? Who knows? But brilliant victory and so delighted for him.
excellent, yeah. One of the real emotional moments I think of boxing in the past few years is when Josh Kelly and Adam Booth embraced after that fight. They stuck together through thick and thin, something that you don't see as often now in boxing, and it really paid off Saturday night.
It really did, and that's a very, very good point. That you go back to Josh Kelly's loss to Avanesian, which is maybe 4 years ago, at welterweight. He went through an awful lot. He had anxiety, didn't he? A lot of anxiety he had to work on in himself. It was, in fight week, like emptying the minibar. He was explaining to me of drinks to try and kind of like calm his nerves. And I think the change in his life, the move to Spain, being with the right person, all of those things. A happy fighter is a good fighter. A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. And a happy fighter is a guy that's with a trainer like Adam Booth, who's a brilliant psychologist and man manager. I remember, getting to know Adam very well when he was David Hayes' trainer. And he was so clever at psychologically. That's why I used to call him the Dark Lord. He always had something up his sleeve. He always had some magic. It's like he practiced the dark arts, and I think he did that in a way with Josh and got him ready for this fight and ready to be a world champion. Now it's about pushing on.
Definitely, and yeah, one of the great nights on Saturday. But let's fast forward to New York just a few hours later. Now, before we talk about the main event, Gareth, if you was presenting a show or on Talk Sport and your wig fell off, how would you feel?
Very, very embarrassed with my wig because there's a lot of hair to fall off. Um, and I've seen me without hair, and it's not a pretty sight. I think I got mocked up when Derek, another heavy. Remember when Derek was saying that if he won against, what was it, against Wallin,
It was,
or I
yeah,
think against Wallin, that I'd have to agree to shave my head, and I didn't agree. Spencer Oliver was trying to get me to agree to that, and obviously he did win, and I'd be bald as a coot right now. Um, I would I don't know, I'd be quite embarrassed if I had a wig and it came off like that. But I thought Jarrell Miller rode
well,
it
that's not a
very.
wig.
Didn't you know? It's real.
Really?
It's real.
I'm joking.
It's
Carry on.
real. It's real. I've just got good glue. Um, that I thought he rode it pretty well. I thought it was a lot of fun with Fabio Ward. It was almost like everyone did the wig stunt. I think it landed. Did it land in Fabio Wardley's lap?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe that's a sign. Maybe he should be fighting Fabio Wardley. That's a fight I wouldn't mind seeing, by the way. Even though Jarrell Miller's not in the top 15 of any of the sanctioning bodies at the moment. He's like the kind of high-level gatekeeper of the division, isn't he? He could fight Ajit Kabayel next if they wanted a fight. He could fight Fabio Wardley, but as I say, he's not top 15 in the division. It was a hair-raising moment, wasn't it? And obviously, there's the skit afterwards of him on the. Have you seen him going down the desert
Yeah,
in the
I've
open
seen
top
it.
car with the hair up? I think Sky Nicholson had a little go at it as well, didn't she, with the hairpiece? Put her on her head. It was all a bit of fun. I thought he carried it very well. He likes to get stuck into other people, but he can clearly laugh at himself as well. And obviously he got the victory on Saturday night as well. But it's one of those funny moments. There's a couple of hair moments in boxing. Paul Malignaggi getting he had dreads
Yeah.
that looked like curtains that were tied up at the when Hatton fought Juan Lascano in front of 55,000 at Man City at the City Ground. I think he was co-main event. Paulie Malignaggi was fighting Love Mornadu, and they couldn't keep the braids together. So I remember he had to have his hair cut after I think it was after the fourth round. I was with Paulie here at the Bare Knuckle on Saturday night. He was doing commentary, but yeah, hair's one of those things that it's always a lot of fun, and it was fun on Saturday night, and it kind of it made for a great moment.
Do you think you'll ever shave yours off?
No, let's not. No, why am I going to shave my hair off?
I don't know. I think there's
Listen,
definitely a bet in
if
there
it
for
was
some.
if it was for the right cause
Yeah.
and it was for a few million, maybe I would.
Hmm. I don't think you'll ever cut it off, to be quite honest.
Have you got any hair under that hat or not?
I've
Oh
got
yeah,
enough. I've got
you got the
enough.
wedge.
I've
You
got
got the
enough.
wedge.
Yeah, let's talk about the main event. I'm speechless, really, of how dominant Shakur was. A
Yeah.
lot of people pick Shakur. He's probably a marginal favourite going into the fight, but that performance is pound for pound top five quality, isn't it?
I think it's higher than that, Joe.
Okay.
I picked I looked at the tools that they both have going into the ring, and obviously Shakur is a brilliant fighter, but given that Tio Lopez had two brilliant victories against incredibly good southpaws in Josh Taylor and Vasyl Lomachenko, you could have said that it was a 52-48 fight. A lot of people picked Tio, didn't they, as well? A lot of big resonant voices, a lot of experienced and knowledgeable people picked Tio. Well, I saw it as maybe 52 to 48 in favour of Tio in terms of the physical strength he has and the ability to upset and disrupt and his dancing feet. Look at the way he was dancing at the weigh-in. He was showing that his feet are great. But I did pick Shakur to win by a close points decision was my pick on it. And I felt that as the rounds unfolded, Shakur just showed how brilliant he is. He did it against William Zepeda last year, and this was another level again. He dominated mentally, technically, emotionally, and in the end physically. And I mean the stat count, the punch count is incredible on the stats. Utter dominance. He went in there. Maybe in retrospect, you could say that the way Tio fought, he was made for Shakur. It was so dominant, it was almost boring in the end. 119, 109, I agreed with that score. He cut him, he dismantled him, he took him apart, basically. And for me, given that's a fourth weight division as a world champion, and as I say, there's people say, oh, but what about Tio's resume? They're saying it after the event. I think no, it was a brilliant performance, and for me, he goes above Bam Rodriguez in the pound for pound list, and just below Naoya Inoue and Alexander Usyk. I've got Inoue at one, Usyk at two, and Rodriguez at four. I think if he goes up another weight division to welter and defeats Devin Haney, I think he's the number one pound for pound in the world. I think he's done enough. I think I always thought he would be. I've been talking to him about this for many years. There's something about Shakur that there's that confidence that is born of an arrogance that is born of knowing what he's capable of. He really is. He's a cat in there. And I think he'll just get better and better. He may suffer a loss at some point, but it ain't going to be to Conor Benn in my view. I don't think it'll be to Devin Haney, but I'd love to see those two fight as well. I'd love to see him fight Conor Benn in the UK in a big stadium and become a big star over in the UK because I think he's got all those star qualities. And he's had his teeth done now as well, obviously.
Let's talk about Conor Benn then. He's come under a bit of fire over the past 48 hours um, for doing what Conor Benn does, getting into a little bit of a face-off with Rolly Romero ringside, and then gets in the ring after. But might I add, Shakur called his name before he got in the ring. He didn't just jump in there. So yeah, what were your thoughts on that? And is it just some of the criticism that Conor Benn's getting right now?
Well, I thought Turkey Al Sheikh did a good security job on the two when Rolly Romero and Conor Benn went forehead to forehead. That was a funny moment. I think Rolly exploded after being kind of pulled around by Conor at the Ring Magazine Awards, didn't he? Because Conor was trying to get stuck into him that night, and Rolly wasn't in the mood. It's a good fight, that, by the way. Rolly Romero and Conor Benn. I think that's a 50-50, frankly. Um, I think people are being unfair on Conor Benn. I think he was doing what Conor Benn does, but he's doing a great job of it. Why shouldn't he be pushing for all the big fights? He is a box office star in the UK. He is on the rise. He against Conor Benn against Shakur Stevenson is a fantastic fight, but it's not a fantastic fight for Conor Benn in my view. And I think Shakur called him up to the ring.
Yeah.
What I mean, people are talking bollocks basically. He didn't jump in the ring and go into Shakur Stevenson's face. Shakur Stevenson called him into the ring. He didn't jump in there and take Shakur's moment. Shakur invited him in there. He sees the value of a Conor Benn fight. Let's fucking get it on. Let's bring him to the UK. Let's see him beat up Conor Benn. Let's see him give Conor Benn the fucking schooling he deserves from a great boxer and a great number three pound for pound in the world in a big stadium in the UK in May, June this year. Let's fucking get it on. I'm excited by it. I think it's great for Conor. I think it's great for Shakur. I think people will come and watch Shakur. Conor Benn will come like a bull and he'll get matadored.
Wow, has that coffee kicked in then?
Yeah, it has kicked in now. Finally awake, yeah.
Oh, fair play to you. Animated at 5:38 in the morning. Excellent, Gareth.
Yeah, but well, that fight would sell, wouldn't it?
Oh, massive. Any of these fights will sell with Conor Benn, whether it is Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, even Barrios if he beats Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with Tank, but stick him in there if he does come back and everything's sorted with him. They're all blockbuster fights, and I want to see at least two of them this year.
The only thing Connor's got to acquiesce to is to agree to do the weight cut or the rehydration clause. And I thought Shaka was really smart getting in
Yeah.
on that. Connor's got to do it. If Shaka says he's got to do it, do it. Connor, I've said this to Connor. I've said this to his team, and I think I've said it to Eddie Hearn. Connor can have five, six more fights now, including a Romero, Rolly Romero, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Barrios, Josh Kelly. Even, I mean, that's a fight that would. I don't think he'll take it, but there's big fights out there for him. I don't want to see him fight Lewis. I don't mind him fighting Lewis Crocker, but I think Conor Benn might as well take the big fights. The fights that are going to generate him money, because that's where he is. For me, it doesn't matter if he doesn't make it to world champion. He's box office because of the controversy, because of who he is. He's become a big figure in British boxing.
Before I let you go, Gareth, I just want to talk about this weekend in Liverpool. I know you're going to be there. Nick Ball against Figueroa. A difficult test for Nick Ball, and you got to put his arm around his back and tap him on the back for taking this one.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, I was just looking at the again before we came on. I was just looking at the champions in the division for a start. I mean, it's ridiculous that a guy like Nick Ball, obviously WBA champion, fighting his number one challenger in Brendan Figueroa. Um, Rafael Espinoza, the WBO champion, Carrington, Shushu, great opponent for him. Angelo Leo, not being able to unify the belts has been a big problem for Nick. But obviously he's beaten Ray Vargas, he's beaten Ray Ford, TJ Doan. He's looked great, undefeated in I think it's 23 now. I think it's a big test for him this fight. Um, Obviously, um, he's a much taller man. I mean, everyone that fights Nick is a taller man generally. I mean, this guy's 5'9". He's come up from bantam and super bantam. He's a proven world level fighter, former world champion. He's 29. He's still in the prime of his career. He's only lost to Stephen Fulton twice.
Twice,
And if
yeah.
you look at what Fulton's done, both on points, you look at what Fulton's done. Fulton again is a very good fighter, world level, proven world level, world champion. And he's only lost to Naoya Inoue. Well, he's only lost by stoppage to Naoya Inoue and Oshaki Foster, I think it is. So you look at you make the comparisons of who they fought. This is a challenge. He's a proud Mexican American. He's a great fighter. The advantage for Nick is that he's at home, and he always brings it at home. Hand on heart, obviously, I want Nick to win. I want him to get the Naoya Inoue fight this year. Um, but again, I picked Murtazaliev to beat Josh Kelly, and I'm happy I was wrong. I think it's going to be a tough night and a very, very close points decision. It wouldn't surprise me if Figueroa won this. I'm up there for Talk Sport. I'm up there around Nick Ball and his family um, and Paul, his coach, Paul Harrison, his coach. Really looking forward to seeing
Paul
them all.
Stevenson, Gareth.
Paul Stevenson, sorry, his coach, who deserves great props for what he's done with Nick and up there in Liverpool. Um, what Stevenson's achieved is amazing as well. And they're both very modest men. And I've said to Nick for ages that he should be making a lot of noise. If he gets the job done on Saturday night, he's arguably pound for pound Britain's number one boxer at the moment, in my view. It's certainly in the men. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great night. They always come out and support him. Was it 9,000 in the arena?
Yeah, 8, 9,000. Yep.
Really looking forward to it. I'll see you up there, no doubt. Yeah, up there for Talk Sport. Get away from freezing Miami, where you can't buy a pair of fucking gloves. Because they don't sell gloves here, because it's never cold here. It's the coldest for 40 years here at the moment.
I bet it's not as cold as what it is here, to be fair.
It's what is it? It's right now in Miami. It is. Pause while I look it
I'll have a
up.
look what it is here. It's 5 degrees where I am now. You're right there, mate. Do you want me to look for you?
Seven it is. It's seven here.
I'm beating you.
Yeah,
Oh,
but it's going up to, mind you, it is going up to 16 by 1 p.m. So I'm gonna have a little bike ride before heading to the airport. Um,
okay. Well, Gareth, I'm sure I will see you this week anyway. And yeah, look forward to big fight night in Liverpool. Gareth, thank you very much, sir.